A well-known Ivy League researcher has produced many food studies. However, his most recent has been retracted. It's the last of 6 of his studies to be retracted. Brian Wansink of Cornell University is a food marketing professor, and he has been part of several studies that have helped change, for instance, how kids receive food in school cafeterias, and several other studies as well. You may have known well-publicized findings such as the so-called bottomless bowls of soup, where people keep eating the soup that's secretly refilling itself. And
did that not turn out to be true?
I mean, it's calling these into question.
Oh, okay.
Because of less than savory ways that these have been found to have been, the results have been found to have been captured, or untrue things that were in the studies themselves. For instance, BuzzFeed News recently covered some emails between him and another food scientist and his collaborators that had multiple discussions on how to extract seemingly meaningful results from lackluster data.
Yeah, how'd they get those?
Yeah, so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Got some spies in BuzzFeed.
So it adds growing criticism to the practices that he has been using and turning into lucrative jobs for himself.
Yeah.
And what they've been impacting how we have government programs for kids eating food.
Yeah. Yeah, and certainly I'm sure that he's getting a lot of funding for his research based on those seemingly successful studies. You said that this is the 6th that has been.
The 6th. So this one in particular.
How many have to be shown to be false before people stop funding your research?
I mean, he's been in a prominent position for a while now, and we've had this particular study about the naming of foods. For instance, they found that kids were more likely to pick and eat vegetables at lunchtime if they were given cool names like X-ray carrots.
That sounds like
you
a
could have
idea.
X-ray vision with carrots, except that's not true. That's an old
Really?
wives' tale.
That seems like,
no.
I bet that would actually be true.
Eating carrots does not.
I don't mean that it gives
vision.
you, I mean that they'd eat more of it. That seems perfectly plausible.
It seems perfectly plausible, but the data
and maybe they
to
give
back
you
it up
X-ray vision, maybe.
Was less than true. They said that the kids that they had done this study on were ages 8 to 10, but in actuality the kids were 3 to 5. Your brain develops quite differently. For a 3-year-old versus a 10-year-old, you have different amounts of understanding, of grasping, of being able to use this knowledge and practicality.
Okay,
and
that's true.
Though it seems probable, it's not the truth of what happened.
I'm still going to assume that's true, though. And that it gives you X-ray vision.
Fine, if you want to eat carrots, I don't care.
No, I don't very often. It's still a vegetable at the end of the day. So this story really bothered me because, and it's not the first time that both the reliability of some of these studies has been called into effect, but particularly in food science. And the reason that bothers me the most is that this is an area where we really still, dietary science and all that, the effect of foods in the body, we still know so little. It's so complex and it's so hard to really study because you could try to get people to tell you what they're eating, but it's very difficult to know how honest they're being. And so whenever something is established in a study where we think we know something that's true, it provides a little bit of, like, it just relaxes me a little bit. Like, okay, we're finally learning something, and for that to be called into effect.
Let's call it fake learning.
Exactly, it's fake learning, but then I just feel again like, oh, okay, so we're stuck with are eggs good for you, eggs bad for you? I don't know, is bacon good? I don't know. I don't like feeling that way. I want to know a little bit of what's actually going on, and that's why we can't afford to have scientists who are falsifying things.
Yes, and he also did profit from this by overseeing a smarter lunch program that was worth $22 million, and it was federally funded, and it's patently false, and it upsets me as well, because it calls into question legitimate studies and legitimate science. Audience, what do you think of this? Please let us know on Facebook and Twitter.